What's going on, guys? It's your boy Showtime Satch, and today we are here with another episode of the Satchmo Show. And today we are going to be talking about how to attack Border. And if you look at the comp league, they'll always say Border's a bad map. They think it's very attacker-sided, but for most of us, the attacker-defended side, it doesn't really matter. It matters who has a better game plan going in. And today I'm trying to give you guys that game plan. So before we get into the video, though, if you guys have not already, please like, subscribe. On the small channel, trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you support the Satchmo Army, go ahead and join it. But without further ado, we're going to start the second floor. Now, the second floor is the most played objective. This is the one site that's agreed to be, more in the defender's favor compared to the rest of the sites. So you're going to see this one a lot. I'm going to give you 3 attack strategies. So if you win the first round, if you win the second round, if you win the third round, you do a different thing every time. That way, the defense is always on their toes. They're not prepared. And for the first one, if you've ever played R6, played it for a while, you're sure to know about this strategy. This is just a very simple archives, smoke, plant now, but there is going to be a little bit of nuance to it. So hopefully I can teach you something here about this first attack strategy. If we pull up my beautiful board here, as you see the border callouts, I got this, I believe, from Reddit. So whoever made this, thank you. Just going right along, man, you see the attackers that I recommend. Now, Glaz and Montagne are critical for this push. You have to have a Glaz Montagne. Capitao is also very useful. You can use Sens, but the fire comes in very helpful as a post plant. So I do recommend Capitao. Nomad, once again, not necessarily essential, but if you go for this push, you're very likely to get ran out on. So having the air jabs in place would be helpful. And then I say Ash. Ash can be replaced with any fragger here. Anyone who is good, I just put Ash as a just a general choice as what most people want to use the frag. And now, if you haven't seen this before, the idea is fairly simple. Montagne is gonna. If we look at the lineup here, we have Glaz has smokes, Montagne has smokes, Capitao has smokes, and he has the smoke bolt. So you got about 8 smokes here. You're gonna smoke out and you're gonna plant, but you got to use your brain a little bit. Most people are going to see this and they're going to have C4s prepped. If you drone out, you have to make sure there's no C4s prepped. If there is, and that is this Ash is going to have to play from below, shoot the C4 that's prepped. If not, you're going to want to bait out the C4s. Because when you look at the lineup, you can count the C4s they have. If they have a mirror and a ward, let's say, we know they have 2 C4s in this lineup most likely. So what we're going to do to start out, Glaz, so we're going to have Glaz play from the window. As you can see the little lineup here, how we're having the guys go. Capitao is typically going to be playing behind this little pillar here, so I'll push him back a little bit. Montagne's going to be pushing through the door. First thing you're going to do is just have one smoke shot, Montagne walk up to the door, and you got to kind of bait out these C4s. It might not work the first time. You have to smoke out again, and Montagne might have to start the plant and back up, but you got to get rid of these C4s. These C4s are going to be pretty difficult, to get around. You have to get rid of them before you start the plant. Once we get rid of these C4s, if they have 2 C4s and they throw them both and they miss, that's when you go for the hard execute. Capitao is going to shoot 2 smoke bolts. Glaz is going to hold the angle, so there's going to be an angle where he can look at this door looking into the other site. He's going to hold that site angle. Montagne's going to get the plant down. And then for the post plant, preferably we'd like Nomad watching these runouts, because even after the plant gets off, these runouts are going to be very critical to hold down. Glaz, once again, he can take more of a passive angle once the plant's down and simply watch where the bomb is. Hopefully you get the bomb down in that far right corner. That is preferable because it's easier to watch. If you're playing Glaz, you do have to look out. This is called sandwich window. I didn't know that, but there's a side window that if you're playing too far back, you can get looked out from. So if you're playing Glaz there, got to be conscious of that. Montagne, once again, if you've got eliminated all their C4s, Montagne's going to sit on that diffuser. And essentially this is going to be a game over. If you're wondering about this Ash, I prefer Ash to walk through the downstairs area and head up metal stairs. The reason we like to do this is just to give the defense a little pressure from both sides. So typically I would want to open up the window, go for the first fake run in, and at that point the defense is going to start collapsing, and that's when Ash pushes in. So you're going to be a little more patient. You're going to think, if you got an Ash in your team, they're going to want to get going, go in. But it's all about timing. When it comes to these attacks, timing is key. So if that Ash waits just an extra couple seconds for the defense to collapse on this strong push that you have, to make their job a lot easier, they'll be able to get picks from behind and they'll start, struggling here. So once again, Montagne comes up through metal stairs, takes a left and tries to get control of the little mini closet, the janitor closet here, and just apply some pressure from behind. That's what she said. So that's the idea for the first attack. I'm going to go ahead and cut here. and I will show you guys the second attack on second floor. All right, guys, here we are for the second attack on the second floor. As I said earlier, the second floor is probably the one you're going to play the most. If that last attack was successful, you're going to want to use this one now. Or even if it wasn't successful and you went to overtime and you're back on this second floor, this is also another very good way to trick your enemies. So what you're going to want to do, this is very important. At the drone phase, you're going to want all 5 of your teammates to spawn east side. You're going to switch it later, but you spawn east side so that your drones come in east side. If you're playing in plat, I would say plat or higher lobbies, and they have a team that's going against you, that is communicating, they're going to notice that all the drones are coming to the east side, and they're going to prepare for that same smoke plant y'all did the first round. Whether it was successful or not, a lot of guys will stick to what they were already doing. So this way you're going to kind of play some mind games with your opponents. Once you get the spawns in, the only person that's going to stay east side is Glaz. We're going to have Ash and Nomad as a team that's going to be pushing the break door and the catwalk area, and you have Thatcher Thermite who's going to be pushing main wall. Now, the way you want to do this for timing-wise, Glaz is going to be the first one to make any kind of point of entry. He's going to shoot down the archives window with the Glaz sniper, and the team's going to hear the Glaz and they're like, okay, they're going for the same idea again. You already had the Glaz last time. You had the smoke plant. And even Glaz can throw a smoke in there just to create a distraction. That's all he really is, though. He's really not supposed to get any kills. If he does, it's great, but he really wants to stay alive and just make the team, make a lot of noise, make the team think that's where they're going. While that's happening, you're going to drone out CC console in that whole back area. Just make sure there's no enemies. If there is, that's why you have the Ash and the Nomad. They're going to try and clear out. Once again, I like Nomad's pushing through the catwalk area and Ash pushing through the break door, although, if you want to go through the window, that's obviously fine as well. There are other ways you can clear out this room, but you clear out the room is the idea. Once it's clear, if there's an enemy there, if there isn't, Nomad's going to put a air jab on the east stairs for the catwalk and on the break room so that they cannot, wrap around you guys while you're going for main wall breach. Once this is clear, and even at the same time, as long as there's nobody in CC anymore, as soon as we get that clear, even before Ash and Nomad come in, Thatcher Thermite's going straight from main wall. Once again, this team's probably going to be shifted towards the last site because of the Glaz making all the noise and because of the last push. So this is going to make this site a lot easier. Typically, if there was a bandit that was bandit tricking, even though, once again, this is really not going to happen. You're not going to see people bandit tricking main wall because you already went from the other side last time. And if it was successful, if they even bring wall denial, it's going to be someone, maybe a kite or just a bandit setting his things down. I'm not saying it's impossible, but a lot less likely. So Thatcher Thermite going to be going for main wall here. Once that wall is open, that's when Glaz is going to shift to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of move these around so you can see what I'm talking about. Glaz is going to go from the outside to come around to this main wall. Thatcher and Thermite can get angles on this wall if Thatcher's here, if Glaz is on rappel, however you want to do this. Nomad, I prefer Nomad to be holding an angle on this. There's going to be a soft wall right here, and you can look into sight through this hallway here. So I like Nomad doing that, and then Ash is going to be sneaking around through catwalk, going through east side, and now pushing the same site, the B site, the archive site last time, but instead it's going to be coming through this fountain, fountain area, the office area, and he's going to be pushing through this way. Once this wall gets open, the enemies are going to start shifting, but as long as Glaz can have this angle holding down the island, the half wall, essentially going to be locking enemies out. They're not going to be able to move. You're going to have nice crossfires here. Essentially, hopefully, you want this Ash to break through eventually, get some more crossfires in the site. This Nomad's going to be holding down this long call. Eventually, as time runs out, he can start pushing up, pushing forward. All these guys are eventually going to push forward, and you're going to want to go, once again, we're going to have 2 smokes here between the Thermite and the Glaz. So you could go for a smoke plant if they don't have a warden or something, but it's a lot more likely that you're just going to be able to frag out and eventually push through, get control of site, and win the game. So that is the second attack we have here on second floor border. All right, guys, here we are. Now we are in round 3. We just won the last 2 rounds of attack. These guys are reeling. They don't know what to do, but they are still probably going to go second floor. If they go to a first floor, you can skip ahead in the video. Well, I guess you probably watch the whole video to be prepared, but hypothetically in our situation, they are on the second floor for the 3rd time, which is not uncommon. This is the best defensive spot, so people are going to choose it more often than not, even if they've already lost it. And now this time, as we saw last time, we went for the archives push, and then we faked the archives push, went around to armory, and now we're going to fake the armory and go to archives. So the whole time we're playing this mind game with them. There are other ways to attack this site. I'm not saying there isn't. Once again, catwalk, you can push up metal stairs with a full 5 and just be better at the game and kill them. However, I think these are the best ways to attack, a prepared squad that knows what they're doing a little bit. Anywhere from the ranks of silver all the way up to, emerald, which is where I've been. It might work in diamond, haven't been in diamond, so I can't say. But without further ado, as I already stated, This time we're going for the fake armory breach. However, we are going to have two people over there. So we're going to have a Thatcher and an Ace. And once again, if you're asking where to spawn your drones, I'm a big fan of playing the mind games with the drones. However, at this point, might not matter as much. But since you're faking the armory push, spawn all of your drones on that west side and fake, they're all going to be expecting this west side push. And then when you actually go for it, it's going to be even more surprising. So we have the Ace and the Thatcher over here. They're going to immediately open up main wall. So before Montagne and Gridlock do anything, this main wall gets open. They're going to shoot the cam, and they're going to sit there and wait. And they're going to be like, okay, someone might have spawned over there, but it looks like the push is coming from over here because these guys are going to be quiet as a mouse. I always have to say, you can hear an ant piss on cotton. It's got to be that quiet. You don't move. Once this wall gets open, that's when you come in like SEAL Team 6. Glaz is going to shoot this window down. Gridlock's going to shoot the door in front of Montagne, or Montagne can destroy it with a shield. Either way, Glaz and Thatcher, if you go Ace and Thatcher, you're not going to have any smokes over here, which is a bit of a downgrade. But the reason I choose Ace instead of Thermite is because you're not going to have a great control over CC. If there is someone in that door, as long as they're not peeking this window, you can still kind of go for this push and not have to be up on the door. If you're Thermite, you're a lot more exposed. So I do recommend the Ace. But essentially, as soon as this main wall gets open, the idea here is we're going to have this Archives push. And if you lose, who we got? We have Gridlock, we have Montagne, we have Glaz. One thing about all these guys, they all have smoke. So it's going to be 6 smokes coming in. Once again, if they have C4s, and then if you drone out and you see that they're playing around, you are still going to have to bait out these C4s. Or alternatively, instead of planting this far right corner, Montagne can either get closer to the wall, or he can go all the way around into the opposite corner, which is risky because this is kind of an unopposed angle. But these are just different ideas you can have. You got to see how the other team's playing it. And, hopefully, your Glaz should be able to see all the way down this hall. But, for example, if this fountain wall is unreinforced, then, it could create some issues there. A lot of these walls are soft here. So, there's just a lot of things to worry about in that situation. But these are all things you can do. Basically, we have 6 smokes here. If you're going to fake it, just throw down 1 or 2. However, if there's no C4s, then you are free to launch all 6 of them, smoke out this entire area. Glaz's smoke should be aiming for this little area. Gridlock and Montagne should be very close. And, you're going to get that bomb down. Also, a Gridlock, it's not a bad idea to throw tracks on flank, because if you notice in this side, last time we had Nomad that was watching the flanks. This time they won't be. So once we get inside, you're going to be going for the plant pretty quickly. As soon as this bomb gets down, Ace and Thatcher can get very aggressive and go for this armory push. They don't want to die. Obviously, that's not in the plan, but, as long as they can create some pressure over here, if they end up dying halfway through the bomb plant, that's okay. They're doing their job. Once again, Montaigne's going to try and hold bomb. Gridlock's going to be watching the bomb from, an angle preferably right around this corner. Once again, runouts, be aware, because you don't have the Nomads on it. You don't have someone watching it, but I sound like a broken record here. Also, Nomad can push in a little heavier. However, this Glaz is going to have to be a sharpshooter to watch him getting pushed. But that's the idea. So the first one, we smoke out, go straight for Archives. Second one, we fake the smoke in Archives. And third one, we fake the armory wall. So these are your 3 attacks for second floor. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get down into the first floor. Okay, now here we are on the first floor, and this is going to be to attack the bathrooms. Bathrooms is the second most common defender setup. A lot of people are saying they prefer it to second floor now, but, I still think second floor is king. But I will have one attack strategy here for you guys on bathrooms, because this one is, a side I personally struggle with, but if I can get a good 5 on, we get this attack off, it is not too bad. So we're going to have 2 teams here, basically. We're going to have we'll call them Alpha and Bravo, feel very professional here. I kind of sound like a nerd when you say that stuff, but it's okay. We'll have our Alpha team over here. As you see, it's composed of Thatcher, Ace, and Ying. Thatcher and Ace can be replaced with any hard breach or wall denial. So you need Twitch, Thermite. I guess if you really love Kali, you can go Kali and Hibana. But this is just a typical setup that I like to use. So we get Ying. Essentially, we're going to want to get control of this warehouse construction area. And how you push it always depends on how your enemies are playing it. In border, this is a map that people stretch out a lot because the sites are hard to hold. So, however you can enter, the easiest way is going to have, maybe Ace and Thatcher go through the front door while Ying can jump through this window. If there's any enemies, sometimes there's an enemy playing warehouse, Ying can throw a Candela and get that out. Essentially, we're going to want them to be pushing in here, getting into warehouse. Once we get in, Ying is going to be holding our, kind of our flank watch over here. We do have Claymores with Ace, so Claymore on this back door and on the side door is recommended for sure if we can get them off. And then essentially we're going to want Thatcher and Ace blowing up this wall in the bathrooms. And then once you get this wall in the bathrooms, it's almost game over for the other team. This window, is open. At some point you could have someone rotate around to play the window to provide a crossfire. Like let's say we get the wall open, Thatcher can run around outside, go to this window. Not always necessary, but something that's nice. And if you're wondering, this is 3 operators. How are we going to go 3-on-5? Well, on top of this, we also have Buck and Nomad playing Vert. I love Nomad. I think probably the best flank watch of the game. And really, you can change Nomad and Ying. If you want Nomad on the flank watch for main wall, and you want Ying playing Vert to clear out Vert, that's perfectly playable as well. This is just the way I drew it up. You're going to go through this archives area on the 2nd floor, and then walk around, and you're going to have your Nomads. We're going to have a Nomad set on, or air jab set on metal stairs, and then you're going to want one on your other flank, which is going to be this east balcony area. So Buck's going to get this wall open, hopefully bring hard breaching charges as Buck. Even Nomad can bring her regular breaching charges, and you can really just open up this floor and give them hell. Not only being able to play Vert by dropping Hatch, but also by getting some crossfires on this bathroom area. So very nice style of play there. You get the Vert control. Nomad gets, to watch the flanks, and then also you have Ying, Ace, and Thatcher having a 3-man push into this bathrooms area. So if they're playing outside of sight, you get this plant off in the bathrooms, and it is going to be tough tilly for the opponent. So that's the bathrooms push. We'll draw our happy icons, planting the diffuser off, all on sight. You got Buck and Nomad watching upstairs. It's a beautiful strategy. The thing about strategy is it works until you do it. So execution is always important, but this is a good idea. If you just go in there willy-nilly, maybe try and bring this in with your 5 and see how you do. All right, and finally for warehouse. Now, I won't be doing a customs inspection just because that site's so rarely played. I don't really think it's worth my breath discussing how to attack. So we're going to go into warehouse here, and also customs inspection. It's probably going to be a pretty similar attack strategy to warehouse. And you're going to be looking at me and say, hey, Satch, this isn't an attack strategy. It's what I do anyways. And I'm like, you got a point. The idea here is basically going to be, a quick rush in for this site. This site is very difficult to defend. Just typically, there's a lot of entrance points. A lot of breachable walls. It's really not something that, very rarely you're going to see all of these walls reinforced. You're going to have a lot of people playing vertical to defend it because they expect a vertical play. And so we're going to play off of that. If they have 2 guys stretching upstairs, that means there's 3 inside. We're going to push this site heavy. I like Sledge. So we have a kind of a main team here, which can be Sledge, Dokkaebi, and Nomad. Once again, these are not required. The only operator that's probably really required for this is Sledge, because you're going to get this soft wall open. I don't know what this call it is. It's a little room that's in customs inspection area. However, I like pushing this way. It's never going to be reinforced in this warehouse, and it kind of gives you a nice way to push. You can always sledge through metal stairs and get a push going that way. Basically, you get this customs inspection. It gives you a lot of ability to move around and get into this warehouse site. So we're going to sledge this wall. Ying's going to be watching this window here, and when the time is right, she's going to throw her smoke, throw her candelas, and try and push. And she can even be holding the diffuser here and go for a solo plant once the time's right. You don't do that right away. Let me get that right. Dokkaebi's going to make a call at some point. Once we get Sledge in position, Nomad could be pushing over here, and Dokkaebi could be following Sledge. We're going to have Ashe is going to be pushing through this double door on the main entrance here in the Valley spawn. Should be coming through here and getting control of this beautiful 90 hull. Once you get this angle, we have this setup basically what you see on screen. Dokkaebi's going to make a call, and we're just going to go win gunfights. That's the idea here. Sledge can be pushing in. There could be someone playing top middle, so you get to drone out, pretty effectively, but we're going to have Doke as a refrag. As you see, Ashe and Nomad are teaming up here, and they're going to be pushing through this warehouse wall. Typically, you're going to have an enemy on this, there probably is a certain comp call for it, but the little bitch corner over here that, you get set up in the stacks and you have a little defense. But they're going to get this push going. And it's at this point, Ying's going to start throwing her candelas, throwing her smokes, and trying to get the plan off. Now, you really don't want to jump through that window until you get this corner cleared. So much Sledge and Doke can push that way. Once again, we're going to have this heavy sight push. And you're really preparing for your enemies to be playing vertical here. If they have 2 guys upstairs, we're going to win most of these gunfights. Even if, let's say we get all these guys off the board here. They're all dead. You got Nomad and Ying. Nomad gets, as long as once you get site control, Nomad can get her air jobs off, watching the flanks. These guys are going to be playing vertical. Ying's going to have the bomb planted in the window, and you're just going to run outside. Bombs planted, Ying and Nomad outside. Like, there's not much that your opponents can do with this situation. So that is the attack strategy for warehouse. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you in this video. If you guys enjoyed it, if it was informative, if you learned something today, or if you just enjoy R6 content, leave a like, subscribe. I drop R6 content Monday through Friday, and even sometimes on Saturdays, which is when this video will be coming out. So if you guys enjoyed, like I said, like, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.